said actually there are no husbands left.
That's a lie. We right here.
They said there are no husbands left because men want to go 50-50, and they want you to also raise the kid by yourself because they want you to cook and clean and basically make them into slaves.
The kind of men you want. What don't you get about that?
I was trapping like a fool. Me and that fool kept that fucking tool. Didn't go to school.
Women said that by marrying a man, they essentially become slaves.
You want a lame dude because you are allergic to following rules. Oops, I didn't mean to make that rhyme. You box of curly fries wig wearing ass bitch.
And I don't know how true that is because I like cooking and cleaning and I like spending time with my kids.
Aha, now you like doing that stuff because you're a single mom. I ain't hear you say I like spending time with my kids and my husband.
But a lot of women nowadays are saying, A, they're not having kids anymore, B, they don't want marriage, and C, that they would rather just make the money themselves and be at home by themselves than to have the company of a man. Which, it kind of like begs to differ. Like, you know, on my other post where men were saying there was no wives left.
There is an epidemic of cute single mothers, yes cute, but nonetheless single mothers out here making content as if they're content creators and they just want attention. Don't fall for it.
And I'm really starting to think that these women like are unemployed or homeless because every other video, clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money. And it's like, well, what you got?
Sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah, that's not really what I signed up for. So, I'm gonna go.
I find it really crazy how I was able to go on TikTok just now and go down a whole entire rabbit hole.
Shut up right quick, because this has to stop. This is not a content creator. This is a woman who does not get enough attention in her everyday life. So, let me talk into my magic digital diary and tell you a nonsensical story while you look at my boobs.
Women.
I find it really crazy how I was able to go on TikTok just now and go down a whole entire rabbit hole of you bitches complaining about buying school supplies. Like, y'all really bitching about buying school supplies? Granted, the school supplies list did get bigger from when we were in school.
Here's the significance to this boring story told by this boring woman who you'd have your fun with and throw out of your car as soon as you climax. She, as a single mother, is talking about single mother problems. Oh, I gotta buy school supplies. School supplies are more expensive than I remember them being. That's why you needed a man. But don't come talking to us because we don't want you. I mean, it's funny to laugh at you. Whoa, this is a terrible place to have pause. She looked like she's saying, come on, you would crack a girl who looked like that, but I was like, I need school supplies for my kids.
And every subject does require their own supplies for their own classrooms, but times change. Times change, baby. They've been doing this for the last, 7 years? Maybe 10 years? So what the fuck is y'all bitches complaining about? Do you know that these teachers are actually going to the stores and buying these school supplies themselves out of pocket, using their own money? It's really gonna break your pockets that much to go into a fucking 99-cent store, because they sell school supplies in the 99-cent store, good school supplies, and spend from anywhere between $50 to $100 on a lot of school supplies. That way it could be spread out through your child's different class.
Oh my God, your story is so boring. Jeez, I mean, your boobs aren't that big. Well, they are, but we still gotta go.
The presence of a mother in a child's life is way more important than the presence of a father in a child's life.
Remember when I said somewhere down the line, the powers that be tricked society into thinking these single independent women is really the head of the household? This guy looks like he comes from a simpy household. I mean, low-key, he looked like he's still being abused right now. Dude, this Negro got stretch marks on his shoulders? Boy, oh boy. You guys leave it in the comments what you have to say about him. Well, not him, but what he talking about.
The importance of a father is very small in comparison to the importance of a mother.
That was a lie.
When we get on this internet, you get all these dudes always saying, oh, you know, that's the result of a single parent home and a single mom. And what they keep implying is that the single mom is somehow raising the child worse than they would. But let's be realistic here. A mother that raised her child versus a father that raised the child, the kid's gonna come out more better with the mother because, first of all, your mother is more nurturing, she's more loving, she's more caring, and she's also more reliable and more dependable than your father would ever be. The sacrifices that the average mom makes for their kids, a father would never do that. Just think of all the times when it's time to change Pampers and ask yourself, how many fathers are doing that? Think of all the times when it's time to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner and take care of the kids and feed them. How many fathers doing that? Think of all the times when it's time for sporting events and things going on in the community with the kids. How many fathers there compared to how many mothers are there? Think of the times when it's time to pick kids up from school and help them with their homework. How many fathers you see there doing that? How many mothers you see doing that? A mother on a day-to-day basis does way more for the child than a father would ever do. The sacrifices a mother would make for her kids, a father would never do that. If you ask the average person, how many sacrifices has your mother made in her life for you? You can barely even name it because it's been so many. You can't even think of all the times your mother has sacrificed and went out her way for you. Now ask them same people, how many times has your father did that for you? They'll look at you crazy. You barely can name maybe once or twice, a couple of times, a few amount of times in your life that a father has went out of his way for you, because fathers by nature are traditionally selfish and they traditionally don't care about their kids. And there's way more people out here that can say my dad abandoned me or my dad wasn't there for me than there's people that can say my mom abandoned me or my mom wasn't there for me. So why do you think it's so many women in the community that say they're single black mothers? You rarely ever see a dude say they're single black fathers. Why is that? Because they never want to take their kids. They never want to take the responsibility of raising the kids. See, these guys trying to make it seem like fatherhood is so important and it's so important for a father to be around, but in reality, the fathers come around and make situations worse. They don't add value to the life of the kids. Look at it from this perspective. You have a 3-year-old child right now, a son in particular. He running around outside, he falls down, he scrapes his knee, he starts bleeding, he starts crying. The mother's reaction is to run to her child and nurture him and say, hey, you know, are you okay? And pretty much baby him. Most black fathers ain't gonna do that. A black father going, man, get up, man. Stop crying like a little girl, man. You acting like a girl, man.
This video from Japan shows us how they teach their kids independence. There's this rope that's connected from one tree to another, causing a barrier between the walkway. The dad shows the kid how to get over the obstacle, and then he leaves it up to the child to figure out how to get past it. You can see the first thing he did was reach back for his mom, and when she said no, he looked to his dad for help. So the kid knew he had to try and do it by himself. He got a bit stuck because of how the obstacle is made, so he looks to his dad for help, and his dad just walks away. His dad did end up coming back, but only to help him get out of the tangle. I know the kid was pissed that his dad didn't put him on the other side. As the dad left, the kid tried again and successfully got around. This is going to build up strong character and perseverance in the kid. Would you do this to your children?
Because see, most fathers, particularly black fathers, have this I gotta make my son tough mentality where they don't believe in being loving and caring and nurturing. They just want to toughen you up.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 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 I got you. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just go. Daddy got you. Say, there's nothing that I can't do when I put my mind to it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah!
Oh, no, I'm listening to you. Keep going. Keep going.
So I know most people that say they was raised by their dad, I know you ain't had no type of love in you, and I know you ain't got no type of, you don't have no type of caring in you, because your father is not going to train you to be like that. Your father's going to be tough on you in every way possible.
So what they did was they take us out the picture. They put us in jail, or they give us a patrilineal mentality to make us separate ourselves from our woman. And when you got all these single mothers or even Section 8 or welfare, what do they tell the black woman? You can have this, but it can't be no man in your house. So what the white man does is he tells the black woman, be independent. Be independent of your bodyguard. You don't need no black man. I'll be your man. I'll be your imaginary man. I'm gonna give you a house for free, Section 8. I'm gonna feed you food stamps, WIC checks for your child. But all in return for me being your man, he can't be your man. So what the white man does is he uses his patrilineal system to get us to not only get out the picture, but to believe it's right for us to be out the picture.
If you were starving right now, and the average person, this could be anybody, ask yourself this: if you were starving right now, and you called your mama, and then you called your daddy, and you say, "Mama, I'm starving." 9 times out of 10, your mama gonna try to find a way to feed you. She gonna go out of her way to make sure that you have something to eat, or find a way to make sure you have something that's necessary to make sure you full. Your daddy ain't gonna do that. Your daddy gonna lecture you. Your daddy gonna tell you, "Oh, well, you a grown man. At the end of the day, you need to man up and be a man and learn how to be responsible." Because see, what you gotta understand, what most black fathers do, they don't want to help. So they disguise not wanting to help as tough love or as teaching you a lesson.
I think your father didn't want to be with your mother, and your mom got revenge on him for him rejecting her by not letting you see him. That's called parental alienation. That's what I think happened to you. I could be wrong, but by default, it sounds like you're saying you can't be a good father because you're black and you're a male. So, like, by the way you're talking, it seems like you believe you're destined to be a bad parent. I could be wrong. Let's finish hearing what he's saying, though.
Your dad'll let you starve for 3 days straight and tell you it's a lesson. "Oh, well, at the end of the day, you a grown man and I'm just teaching you responsibility. You need to be responsible." But in reality, he really just doesn't want to help you. And instead of him just saying he don't want to help you, he gonna try to act like he teaching you responsibility. So I said that to say this: kids are better off with their mothers than they'll ever be with their fathers. Your father would never, ever be as useful as a parent as your mother would. So we need to kill this narrative of people making it seem as if the father is the most important parent in the house, because if the kids get left with the mother, oh my God, they're going to be so horrible, when in reality that's not the case. More likely than not, their life going to be worse so when the father is around than it is when he's not around. Because we've seen with kids that grew up with single moms, how they've turned out. Some of them still overcome it and become good, productive people in life. How many single kids, that single fathers that raise their kids, can we say the same about? It's not even many examples, because none of them do it. So with that being said, the mother is the most important parent in the equation.
Now, here's another reason why I believe men don't approach women. And I'm definitely speaking for myself and projecting when I say this. Where's the term "who hurt you" as this guy's talking? I guarantee I won't see it in the comments. I'm hearing the flutteriness in his voice, like he's not that confident with himself. And that level of hypocrisy is what tells men, nah, you not ready to submit. You still want to rebel against your nature as a woman. That's why we're holding the line. We're refusing to give you attention because you're not worthy of our attention.
We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. What we have is a female delusion epidemic. There is no amount of graphs, charts, diagrams, self-help books. There is no amount of information that's going to help men keep up with the delusional reality that a lot of these women live in. You want somebody who is interested in you, but not too interested. You want somebody to text you back fast, but not too fast that he seems desperate. You want somebody to plan dates, but plan dates the way that you would plan them, otherwise it doesn't count. You want men to make $100,000 a year while working 20 hours a week and still being home with your kids, if you have kids, and take on kids maybe that aren't even his in the first place. You don't want Cheesecake Factory, but you also don't want McDonald's, but then you also don't want him to spend all of his money and be broke. And you speak on men coming on this app to listen to other men talk about what women want, but the reality is that how many women come on this app and listen to the bullshit that we hear all day long about narcissism, that every single person that you meet is a narcissist, and everything is a trauma response, and everybody needs therapy, and everything is labeled to avoid your own accountability. Come on this app and talk about broke loser epidemic. Meanwhile, y'all aren't even making $50,000 a year. You can't afford your own rent without living with somebody. You can't afford to live without government assistance, depending on your parents, or some of you depending on your ex-husband. But y'all never want to have that kind of conversation. Not to mention the amount of massive credit card debt that most women have to maintain their lifestyle, which is a lifestyle that they can't even maintain, so they're looking for a man to sponsor them. There is no diagram in the world that is gonna help a man understand what you want because you don't even know what you want yourself. There is no book or diagram to help men understand your ever-changing emotions, and everything is based off of how you feel that day in that moment, whether you've eaten a sandwich, whether you drank your water, whether you've gotten enough sleep, whether you're eating correctly. All of these things add up, and even if that man reaches everything that you've ever asked for, the goalpost will always change. And let's be honest, men have already told you what they want. They want women who are in shape, who are respectful, which means they're not showing their butt cheeks on the internet, which most women don't do. More women are on OnlyFans than there are school teachers. They want women who want to have sex with them, and y'all are too busy out here making excuses like, oh, I have a headache, oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, and God forbid a man asked you to make him a sandwich, and now all of a sudden that's beneath you because he's not the prize. Again, based on what you've seen and what you've listened to on the internet from other women. Men have literally such a short list, and the majority of women can't even meet it. Not only that, is they expect these men to turn around and be emotionally in tune, supposedly read their graphs and their, self-help books and learn to be emotionally in tune, but most of y'all won't even make a man a sandwich. Most of y'all won't even give up your validation on social media to have a healthy relationship, but y'all don't want to have that kind of conversation either. And most of y'all want them to show up with their wallets open when you're not even emotionally in tune yourself, when you're not putting out yourself, when you're not meeting any of his needs, but he's supposed to lead with his wallet and he's supposed to cater to you. Is that not a delusional world that women live in, and it's all wrapped up in narcissism and materialistic bullshit that you've been told on the internet, or is it different?
The boom,